can begin.
Susan, are you set for us to start?
And Chairman, we are currently live.
Thank you. Okay. I'd like to call this meeting to order today, Tuesday, June the 8th, 2021 of the Pitt County Department of Social Services Board. I want to welcome everybody to our meeting today. We'll call this meeting to order by observing a moment of silence, prayer, or silent meditation to begin. Okay, thank you for that. And we always open our meeting by recognizing whether or not we have any public comments. Susan, do we have anything for today?
No, sir.
Okay, so with that, let's go ahead and call the roll so we can acknowledge who's here today.
Chair Cox.
Present.
Vice Chair Nelson.
Present.
Dr. Bunch.
Present.
Mr. Dancy.
Present.
Ms. Perkins Williams. She must not have been able to get in yet.
This is her calling me now.
Okay, so moving forward with our agenda. So we need to adopt or revise today's agendas. Do we have any revisions to today's agenda? And if not, let's go ahead and adopt the agenda. Susan, you want to
Move to adopt.
Thank you. Could I have a second?
Second.
Okay, thank you, Catherine. So Susan, could you call the roll, please?
Chair Cox.
Approve.
Vice Chair Nelson.
Approved.
Dr. Bunch.
Approved.
Mr. Dancy.
Approved.
Okay, and Ms. Perkins Williams is still trying to get on the line, I think.
Yes, sir.
So let's move forward again with doing the same with our previous meeting minutes. You should have all received those in your packet and had the opportunity to review them. If we have no changes, could I have a motion to approve, please?
So moved.
Thank you, Catherine. And
Second.
Thank you. Sounded like we had a couple seconds there. Susan, call the roll, please, so we can approve.
Chair Cox.
Approve.
Vice Chair Nelson.
Approved.
Dr. Bunch.
Approved.
Mr. Dancy.
Approved.
Ms. Perkins Williams.
What am I approving?
The
The
minutes.
minutes.
Pardon?
The minutes.
Approved.
Thank you. Okay, moving on our agenda today. Next item is recognition. Actually, it's employee recognition, new hires, service awards, and retirees. So I'm going to turn it over to Jan for that.
Okay, let's see if I can share screen. Okay. So here are our new employees. Let's see if I can get this going. So today we are fortunate to have some wonderful new folks with us. We have Tavia Hughes, who is our new HR aide. She is our person who helps us get our children transported all over the countryside when they're in foster care, and she does a lot of other transportation kinds of things for us also. So we're excited to have her with us. Also, we have Mia Threat, who is a new social worker in our investigations and treatment area. Again, somebody we are so excited to have. We were just talking a few minutes ago about the fact we still got several folks out and how important it is to have some of these new folks in rotation to really be supportive for us. Kendra Wooden, who is our new income maintenance caseworker 3 over in the other building, and she is going to be a great resource for us. And then we've got Micaiah Harris, who is another income maintenance caseworker 2, who has joined us recently. So again, really excited to have all of these folks with us to help round out the staff that we have here. Now, we're going to also be saying goodbye to a few folks. Michelle McCorkle is retiring. Michelle is on the thing today, the meeting today, so certainly you can speak to her. Michelle was hired at the end of July in 1989. So think back to what you were doing in 1989. She was promoted through the ranks. When she was hired as an income maintenance caseworker 2, working in what was then known as the Aid to Families with Dependent Children program. That program is gone. It's got a whole new name now. She also worked in Medicaid. So in 95, she was promoted to Child Support Agent 1, 96 Child Support Agent 2. December of 2000, she became a Child Support Supervisor. In November of 2007, she became Child Support Supervisor 3, supervising the 2 Child Support Supervisors. And then in December 6 of 2015, with our reorganization, we created the Family Support Division, which included child support, crisis services, Medicaid transportation, child care, and employment services. So she took a whole lot under her at that point, and she became an Income Maintenance Administrator 1. Michelle served on statewide committees. She served in committees here in the community on various boards. They've won awards under her leadership. And of course, we have collected the most child support ever under Michelle's leadership. So we're really crying to see her go, but really excited about her new future in retirement. I think they have lots of plans. Teresa Braxton is retiring also the end of the month. Teresa started here in 1994, June of 94. As an office assistant 3. She was promoted to an accounting clerk 4 in 97, income maintenance caseworker 1 in 98, income maintenance caseworker 2 in 2000, excuse me, income maintenance caseworker 3 in 2013. And then she decided, she really liked doing the kind of work she'd already been doing. So she decided to move back to an income maintenance caseworker 2. So she decided in 2017 that was a better place for her. So we're happy to have folks who can make those kinds of decisions and be a real good resource for some of our newer folks. She has had 17 years with us, and she also is a veteran serving in the Coast Guard before she came to work for us. So we're going to miss Teresa greatly. Queen Guyon in economic support didn't send us a picture, and we're sorry about that, but I understand. She started her employment with us in 2007, and she's an income maintenance caseworker 3. She had worked elsewhere prior to coming to us. She is currently in our intake outpost unit stationed at the hospital. And Queen had a little over 10 and a half years in Beaufort County. And she also is a veteran from the Army. But she has 14 years with us. So we'll be losing her the end of the month also. Again, sorry to see her go, but excited about her new future. When you start looking at our service awards, those are coming up, and we have the following folks getting their 5-year, 15, and 20 years. So the 5-year folks are Bradford Boyd, Paula Dickens, Candace Grubb, Joyce Johnson, Lakeisha Mills, Larissa Person Jones, Patricia Reagan, and Shaquana Williams. Our 15-year folks, Colleen Anderson, Portia Barrett, Bertha Hall Bryant, and Susan May, our very own Susan May right here. And then our 20-year recognition goes to Angela Harrell. So we certainly appreciate all the support and good works that these folks do for this agency and for this community every day. So those are our recognitions for this particular meeting.
Thank you, Jan. And we welcome our new employees, and we'll miss our ones that are retiring, and appreciate their service. So thank you for that. Next on our agenda is recognition of our graduates. And I'll turn that back over to you, Jan.
Right, and Shantae Carson is
Yes.
going to, did I screen share? Can y'all see? I can't remember if I screen shared. If I did not, we're going to do this again. Here we go. Screen share. And so Shantae is going to walk us through this. She is who works with these young folk every day. Shantae, can you get on?
Yes.
Okay, great.
Kelsey Kennedy is our first graduate. She is graduating from D.H. Conley High School. She plans to attend Pitt Community College and is currently undecided in her major. But we're very proud of Kelsey for completing her diploma. DeAndre Sharp is our next graduate. He is graduating from South Central High School. When I first talked to him, his plans were to go into the Air Force, which he's still thinking about it, but he's also contemplating maybe doing a couple years at the community college. So he's in transition, but he was able to go to graduation this weekend. So he was very excited about attending that on Saturday morning. Dylan Nyes is our next graduate. He is also graduating from D.H. Conley High School. He will be attending East Carolina University this fall and majoring in nursing. Anthony Blow was able to graduate from the Lenore County Learning Academy, and he is going to be going to Pitt and majoring in auto mechanics.
And I just
proud of all 4 of our graduates this year.
We sure are, yeah. And I was going to add that they had Anthony come by to visit me, and Anthony was telling me about how he was the valedictorian and got to make a speech and everything at Lenore Learning Academy. So he was so excited.
That is always very special. Thank you, Shantae, and appreciate your work with this group. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, moving forward here. Let me see. Last month, we had Mr. Ernest Lee from Pitt Community College come and do a presentation about employment programs out of Pitt Community College. So kind of continuing with our theme, we thought it would be good to hear about an employment project within the Department of Social Services. So Jan, I'm going to turn that over to you. Thank you.
And I'm going to quickly turn it over to Dee Hill. And I don't know if Michelle's going to be participating or not, but certainly Dee and Michelle are the leader of that particular section of the department. So go forth, ladies.
Okay, I'll try to share my screen. Okay. And just wanted to give you an update and overview about the Employment Services Unit. The Employment Services Unit is part of the Family Support Services Division. The goal is to assist our participants in becoming self-sufficient through employment and training. The unit is comprised of 3 programs: the Work First Employment Services Program, the Food and Nutrition Services Employment and Training Program, and the Child Support Employment and Training Program. For our participants to be eligible to participate in some of these programs, for the Work First Employment Services Program, they must be receiving Work First, must be work eligible. That program also has a 24-month and 60-month time limit. In order for participants to participate within the Food and Nutrition Employment and Training Program, we call it the F&S ENT program, they must receive food and nutrition services, formerly known as food stamps. The participation of this is voluntary. And you must be able to work. This program has a specific caveat to it. It has the Education Navigator, which is located at Pitt Community College. The Education Navigator assists the participants in their education pathways. For our Child Support Employment and Training Program, we call it the STEP program, Supporting, Training, and Employing Parents Program. Pitt County was approved by the federal government to provide employment services to the unemployed or underemployed non-custodial parents. Pitt County is the only county within the state to utilize incentive waivers funds in this manner. It provides non-custodial parents with a step up towards self-sufficiency and full compliance with their child support orders. We consider it a dual self-sufficiency program. It assists the non-custodial parent, but also assists the child support caretaker. Here are some of the general services, support services that we offer, and understand that each program varies in their support services. Individualized assessment, tuition assistance, which includes books and supplies, transportation assistance, job retention services, uniform equipment, supplies, anything that's needed for employment. And we coordinate with partner agencies for employment opportunities. Of course, like everyone else, we had some challenges with COVID. For the Work First Employment Services, mandatory requirements for activities had stopped. The benefits are automatically released by the state. For the FNS ENT program, we were limited on the face-to-face educational training classes that were held. Limited ability for staff to do their outreaches and orientations with partner agencies. For our participants, of course, limited with their face-to-face contact, access to the computers, virtual meetings, and internets. But I say all this to say that we also had some success. We've had gainful employment with our participants, and from July of 2020 to the present, we've had 70 participants receive employment. So we're thankful for that. Here's some example of the employment that we received by our participants. And I'd also like to share some success stories. We've had a participant that was enrolled in PCC, paying for classes with student loans, and she had exhausted all her available funding. She only had 6 more classes before completing her degree. Through employment services, we were able to assist her with the books, tuition for 6 more classes, which is actually 2 semesters. Last month, she graduated with her associate's degree in medical office administration with a concentration with medical billing and coding. Since her graduation, she has been hired with Vidant as a unit secretary. Her hourly pay is $13.26. Now, we do have the partnership with Vidant, and our social worker was able to refer that participant to the community pipeline partnership with Vidant. The next success story, we had a participant that was at McDonald's. She was also working at a home health care as a PCA. She volunteered for the employment and training program through our FNS, and we were able to provide her with tuition assistance, book supplies. She was able to take the basic life support class, the NA1 class and the NA2 class. Once she received her certification through the NA1 class, she was employed making $25,000 a year. After she completed her NA2 class, she used the remaining part of her Pell Grant to complete her degree, Applied Health Science Associate's degree at Pitt Community College in April of this year. She is now working at Vidant, making $33,000 a year. Our other success story also includes a participant that also had exhausted her financial aid. She received assistance for her remaining semester through our employment and training program. We assisted her with books, tuition, and other nursing requirements. On May 3rd, she graduated with her associate's degree in nursing. On May 28th, she passed the registry on the first try for registered, and she is now a registered nurse. Here are some other certificates awards that were given to our participants. Of course, we could not do it without our staff, the participants, and our community partners. We'd like to thank all our community partners, including Pitt Community College, ECVC, NC Works, Rivers East Development Board, and Vidant. Any questions for me?
Thank you, Dee, for that information. That was a very good presentation. Any questions for Dee?
I'll ask a question. Perhaps, Dee, you can explain more about the Vidant partnership,
Sure.
the pipeline.
Let's see, I think started approximately 3 to 4 years ago, but Biden decided that because of the community, of course, being a local employer and a community partner, the mission would be to develop and maintain collaborative partnerships with various organizations to promote health workforce equity. They started to assist us in working towards gainful employment for our participants and the local employees in the area. And so to date, we have had 15 hires through that pipeline. They have a designated person that will follow, not just follow, but send out information of what positions are open. Our participants, of course, have to qualify. They have to interview, and then we watch them through the process. We've had a number of our participants maybe interview for 3 or 4 different positions, but at the end of it, we know exactly where they applied, how they did on the interview, so that we can come back and work with them on a team to kind of build up their skills or whatever they're needed for the interview process. And so it's been a good partnership. And again, since the formation of it, we've had at least 15 hires. And again, we just follow our participants through the process.
You might also want to talk a little bit about what's going on with ECVC.
And ECVC is one of our partners as well. We get from all our community partners, we get information about employment opportunities, open position. ECVC is one of our partner agencies that has signed on with the Food and Nutrition Employment and Training Plan. Due to COVID, we haven't been able to refer too many people over to that program, but they do housekeeping. They have all types of employment. They can assist with the training for our participants.
Mm-hmm.
And this last year, you've been doing a lot of virtual job fairs.
Oh my goodness, yes. More than I ever thought. We do virtual job fairs. We have been doing virtual job fairs. We also have a network and redesign group that we're on our 3rd annual. Last year was participation with partner agencies. And what we get together and do is that we have so many partner agencies that we say we're partners, but we really don't know them. And so what we have been doing is meeting with the partners, sharing our information, and really building those relationships. In fact, we do a lot of referrals because we know that sometimes we may be limited on our resources, where one partner agency may say, example, they have transportation, and another partner agency may not be able to offer transportation, but yet our clients, we have the same participants, or that participant can be in dual enrolled. So we call it banding our resources together. And so it's been a good collaboration that we can reach out to partner agencies and just say, hey, I have a participant, but we need, they may have some justice involvement. So we have worked with some community partners that specializes in that particular area. So it's been really good. We have an upcoming event. I believe it's the end of July, and that's our networking redesign. We plan to get more employers involved in it this time because employers need to know the organizations that are out there that have skilled employees ready, participants that are ready for employment.
Mm-hmm. Any other questions?
This is Daron from ECVC. I actually would like to say thank you to Dee for the partnership. We actually have another success story as far as we're concerned from ECVC and the partnership. We've received a referral from Dee and her team maybe a year and a half or so ago, and the referral actually went through our apprenticeship, our custodial apprenticeship program. And ECVC is the first business in the state of North Carolina to have a registered apprenticeship that actually has individuals with disabilities as apprentices.
Wow.
So we're really proud of that. And we actually, Dee's referral completed that, the apprenticeship program. She's now a regular ECVC employee. And we actually submitted her name with the state as the Apprenticee of the Year. She did not get the award. However, just to be nominated from us to the state shows how much we think of her. And so we look forward to the continued partnerships with you and your team, Dee.
Thank you.
That's wonderful work, wonderful partnerships, and those are what we look for. And I thank everyone for their work in that area. Any other questions, comments? And thank you, Dee.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Moving forward with today's agenda, for items for discussion, on your agenda, we have appointment of 5th board member. And Jan, I want you to make sure that I do this correctly in terms of things. Catherine Nelson has completed her first term as our 5th board member. She's actually appointed by our board and our social services board. She's interested in an agreement to serving a second term on the board. So I would like to open it up for a motion that Catherine would be appointed to a second term as our 5th board member on the board.
Mr. Chairman?
Ms. Perkins-Williams?
Yes, I am pleased to offer the motion that we accept or make the appointment for Ms. Catherine Nelson to remain with us as a board member.
Thank you very much.
You are very welcome.
So we have a motion and we're going to have to take, I guess we need a second. So if I could have a second to Mary's motion.
Second to the motion.
Okay, Dr. Bunch seconds that motion. And so Susan, I guess you call the roll now. We'll have to go back through it. So let's do that, Susan.
Chair Cox,
Absolutely.
Vice Chair Nelson. Well, I guess, can she vote on her?
Yes, she can.
Certainly.
Dr. Bunch,
Agree.
Mr. Dancy,
Agree.
Ms. Perkins-Williams.
Agree.
Thank you. So Catherine, do you have anything you'd like to say?
Sure, Jim. I just want to thank the board for this honor and for reappointment. It's actually something that I've dreamed of, is being able to be part of county government in Pitt County. My father was, so this is something that I'm just so excited that I can continue to do this work, and which I feel like is very, very important. And it's rewarding work, although it's very hard work, I know, for the social services staff, but please know that that's what I'm here for. And I'm very honored to be able to do and serve as the vice chair. So thank you.
Thank you, Catherine. And we're pleased that you agreed to serve another term with us. Thank you. Okay. So we're going to move forward now to hear from Dr. Augustine Frazier, the Deputy Director's report. And I think you all received a copy of it, or you should have. Dr. Frazier?
Thank you, Chair Cox.
Thank you.
Yeah, I want to bring the good news that finally we received a release letter from Department of Commerce. So we are live, and but what people should understand about our program, we are attempting to at least, attempt to stop homelessness. And for that to happen, landlords and tenants must have an agreement to at least have some permanency or relationship for 1 year so that we can take care of the backlog of rent that is owed. This is what is a problem right now with some landlords. They do not want to maintain the relationship with tenants whom they perceive to be bad. But they want the money. And if you want the money, we are saying to you, give some amount of stability to these people. We cannot guarantee they will pay their bills, but we can make sure we make them whole. So we are having a very difficult time with landlords accepting our kind of condition. But the legal aid department is helping us to walk through the fine lines, and we are meeting with them tomorrow to make sure that those dots are crossed and the T's are I'd. So hopefully that will help us to see how we can cross that bridge. But the good news is we have the money, we have the capacity, we have staffing, and we are working out the details. If you have any questions on the program, I will answer those before I move on to the next. All right, to the utilities, that again, we are rolling. This is our 8 weeks of running that program. As of today, thank you, Ms. John, for correcting me. We have spent $9,512.38. And we have obligated $20,066 obligated. Hopefully we have all of those resolved by the end of next week. Thank you to Michelle and Teresa Sampson for the hard work. And I know by the end of each of these programs, a lot of people will be satisfied and we can keep a lot of people away from homelessness. Any questions on that utility piece?
I would just like to thank Dr. Frazier. We have a group that that meets on a regular basis that has different funding streams to assist people, with utilities and rent. And he's been a good addition to that group, and we work together and we continue to work to try to maximize the funding that's come to our community. So thank you, Dr. Frazier.
Thank you. So the Medicare transformation also, all of it is good news today. We are at 97% of enrollment, which is good. And DHS has also approved people to maintain and keep their PCPs. This was a problem. This was the bottleneck. That has been resolved. And hopefully by July 1, people are going to maintain their relationship with their PCPs, and they will continue to get uninterrupted service through the transformation as we move to managed care. Any questions on that?
So Dr. Frazier, this is Jim. I do have a question.
Yes.
So 97% enrolled.
Mhm.
So what percentage was it that actually went online and enrolled prior to the auto enrollment process? Do you have,
No, I do not have that breakdown, but I can get that to the board if you want that.
I was
It's
just
actually
curious.
on the website, but I can get that to you, sir.
Yeah, I was just,
Statewide, it was very low.
Yeah.
yes. Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Any questions for Dr. Frazier in terms of the report? Okay, thank you, Dr. Frazier. Now,
welcome,
moving
Jim.
right along here, we're going to hear from Jan, the director's report.
Okay. Not a whole lot of excitement here. I will say thanks to Brian's group, and thanks to Angela Hart, and thanks to the county finance office. 3,482 households got a supplemental payment towards their energy. A total of $189,200 was paid out to the utility providers on behalf of folks. I think Brian provided for you in your packet the information about how the supplements were decided and the number of households that got each supplement amount. The supplement amounts were $40.31, $53.75, and $67.19. And yes, those are weird amounts, but it has to do with the amount of money that was left over after we completed the regular low-income energy project statewide, and then divided by the number of households. And so that's kind of how they came up with those very strange numbers. These are much better allotments than last year. We had a supplement last year, and I think $10 or something like that was the payment for folks. So this made a little more difference for the households that were receiving this assistance. So we probably will do that again next year in some fashion. The various funding streams coming down from the federal government are authorizing a lot of additional monies for pandemic energy assistance. And so there'll be, the programs may look different, or they may look kind of like this year where we have an auto enrollment. We don't know yet, but a lot going on from that standpoint. So again, if you got any questions for Brian, I think he's on the meeting, or if you got any questions for me, let me know. We had a very short turnaround on this. The state gave us the list about May 18th, and all the checks had to be cutting out by the end of May. So in order to get it out of this fiscal year. So that was a fast turnaround.
Residents were very excited to get that notice and say, what is this about? And I've heard it such a short time that I've been in the office, and it was a pleasure because people are having a hard time.
Sure they are. And one thing to think about our program that we're running for rental assistance, this also includes, because you talked about mobile homes before, this also includes lot rental. So that can help some folks that you interact with if they apply and are found eligible. So moving on to the Medicaid application processing report. Again, great job to Teresa Sampson and her crew. They do a fantastic job. As you can see, we are meeting the requirements both in the MAD and the other Medicaid programs, processing at 93 and 94%. And we're way below what the processing times are. The goal is 90 days for MAD, and we're at 63 days. And for other Medicaid, the goal is 45 days, and we're at 27. So they are hustling, getting a lot done. And even with the increased numbers of applications that they've been seeing, they are working really hard to get that taken care of. Any questions about that? So the other thing that I have for you this month has to do with the our vacancy report. I still would love to see us get below 20 vacancies. I think I get close and then somebody else decides to leave. But right now we are sitting at 20 vacancies throughout the entire agency. Of course, when you look at the total number of positions, that is a small percentage. But you can see that we have 2 vacancies in administration, 3 in economic support, 3 in family support services, and 12 in our service area, and that would be adult and children's services. Clearly, we're in the recruitment process for just about every one of these, between interviewing, advertising, do reference checking, whatever. So it is moving right along. And of course, tonight, I believe we have the public hearing on the budget. And so hopefully next month, I'll be able to tell you about all the new positions that we're recruiting that'll be added to this list at one time. So that's our vacancy report at this point. We have several, as you saw, several new hires. We've been adding people on a regular basis. So a lot of those folks are in training. And so we are hopeful that we will begin to see the work that they're able to provide to relieve the staff of some of the the moving around they're having to do right now to cover all those vacancies. So we're excited to have them. A lot going on in the agency, obviously, getting kicked off with the rental assistance program. We're talking about things going on with our trauma programs around mental health services. Trillium has placed some folks in our building for several days a week to help us with navigating some things. We're still struggling, certainly, with children who are at risk and other kinds of things, but really excited about what we're seeing happening here in the agency. Any questions?
Questions for Jan? Jan, if not, you want to mention next month's meeting in terms of maybe.
Yeah. Well, I will say a lot of staff here in the building today are excited about the fact that they no longer are required to wear a mask in the building, although we are still certainly encouraging staff to wear masks if they feel the need to, and if they are out in the community or we're having a meeting with large numbers of folks. And that leads up to the other decision that the commissioners made last night, which was that boards can go back if they wish to an in-person meeting in July. The county commissioners will do that, and certainly this board can do that. I think several of the other boards have already said that they're going to do that. So we need to space out as best we can, but I think we're a small board, so we can probably spread out upstairs in the boardroom, or we can try and find a larger location, but the boardroom would be most convenient, I think, the commissioners' chambers. So that's y'all's decision.
I certainly look forward to not straining my eyes on Zoom and WebEx and whatever kind of virtual apparatus. I look forward to it. I really do.
Thank you, Mary. And I do too. And so if other board members have thoughts about that, if you want to email me, we have a month to kind of, well, not a month, we'll need to do some planning around that, but certainly let me know what your thoughts are. With that, I like Mary would look forward to reconvening in the room. So anyway, let me know what your thoughts are.
The other thing you would, excuse me, who?
No, go ahead, Jan.
I was just going to say, don't forget next month also you will be electing officers.
Yes.
Okay. Well,
go ahead,
I was thinking about the heat. This heat is really hot, and it's noticeable because today the air went out in the building here, and air conditioning people came out, and I thought about those folks who are in mobile homes. What kind of things that's out there that can assist elderly and disabled residents with addressing that? Is there a number or something, Jana, whatever, because that can be dangerous,
right,
in a mobile home.
Yep. The Council on Aging often has, and sometimes we have those too. I think we still have the fans that are available. Cynthia, since you were on the meeting, I don't know if you can speak to that. Obviously, the crisis program will help folks if they have a significant need related to, paying their electric bill so they can keep their air conditioning on. And there may be some situations we might could do some other things, but basically the fans, I don't know if Cynthia is going to be able to join us or not.
Miss Elliott, we do still have fans.
Still have fans, okay.
Yes.
Okay. So that would be a referral source.
Yeah, I wanted to bring that up because I guess with the air going out here, I thought about it.
Cynthia's on too.
And it's good for the residents to know.
Right.
That somewhere there is a little help.
Yeah. Cynthia, do you have anything to add?
No, I think you've got it covered. I mean,
Thank you. Okay, so as we come to a close here, in terms of, there's no other questions for Jan, in terms of board member comments. Anybody closing thoughts? I certainly want to congratulate our graduates this year. That's always a highlight of our meeting, and wish them all well. And in terms of things, other board member comments?
Chairman, it's been great to be on such a positive meeting, to hear success stories and to hear how programs are working, and to actually congratulate new workers, congratulate people who are retiring. I certainly didn't know that Miss Michelle was retiring. So congratulations to you, and have fun with Mr. McCorkle.
Thank you.
Tell him I said hello.
All right.
All right, and welcome to the retirement club.
All right. Sounds good.
Jim, I wanted to mention the community health needs assessment that Jan was promoting in one of her emails. I'm trying to remember which one it was, but the department here at the hospital and the health department are working together with Pitt Partners for Health. And this community health needs assessment occurs every 3 years. And it's really important that we get our folks in our county to take this community health needs assessment survey. It's an opinion survey, so it's what people think about the services and the health status of things here in their county where they reside. But this community health needs assessment is actually a regional tool. So there's a place where you can actually denote the county that you reside in. So it is for about 33 counties. So, but my focus is Pitt County. So I'm hoping that we can get, we need men to take the survey, and we need our minority population to participate in the survey. And the other thing that we are doing is we are doing focus groups with to sort of offset the fact that we have not had we don't have an even amount of men, minorities, and so, but it's pretty spread out in terms of age. We're pretty good with the age thing. So, but there is a QR code now that we have, Jan, that people can just scan it on their phone and take it. It takes about 10 or 15 minutes or less. But this information will help us determine our health priorities for the county and for the hospital for the next 3 years. So it's important that we get this is your chance to give your opinion about things with regard to the compelling health needs in Pitt County. So thank you.
Is there, Kathleen, is there a link, a special link or something?
Yes, I can send that. It's actually on the Pitt County Health Department website, but I can resend it to Jan. She can include it in her communications with folks, and the QR code is very easy. It's all in Spanish and English. So want to get as many people as we can.
I probably could send it out to some people in my database. I have quite a database, but and I don't read everything down into everything with that many emails coming from everywhere. You got to save your eyes sometimes. And so I've missed that you just said, but I would love to be able to send it out.
And I would encourage all of you to send it out to other folks that you know, so that we make sure that it gets spread around the community.
It's all about health, right? In Pitt County, right? And how people feel.
Right.
So we can't say that enough, the need for the health people to know what we're thinking about our well-being, and what we are saying about how we are receiving medical, whatever it is about. I haven't read it, but you can rest assured I will certainly go on and take it and share it with you. So I encourage the residents to also follow through.
Okay, thank you, Mary, and thank you, Catherine, for bringing that up. And it does have a regional focus too, so which is a good thing. So anyway, any other closing comments before we come to a close?
I'm ready to close.
Okay, well, if you would make the motion, Mary, we can call the roll.
So moved.
Okay, could I have a second?
Second.
Okay, and Susan, let's go ahead and do this formally. So let's call the roll. So we're a small group.
Chair Cox,
I agree with Mary.
Vice Chair Nelson,
Yes.
Dr. Bunch,
Agree.
Mr. Dancy,
Agree.
Ms. Perkins Williams.
Agree.
I guess that's unanimous. So look forward to seeing you next month, and everybody stay safe and have a good month. Thank you.
Drink lots of water.
Absolutely.